But the stocks of the day are the realty stocks, all of them buzzing around. We are joined by Mahesh Sheregar, the Executive Director for Operations in India and CEO International Business of Sunteck Realty. He joins us to give us a lowdown on what the real estate regulator means for the companies itself. Now, thanks a lot, Mahesh, for joining us. Now, while this is a pro-consumer move as far as the Rajya Sabha giving approval to the real estate regulator is concerned, what kind of effect will it have on the companies itself, considering that 70% of that money has to be put into an escrow amount? Will you be facing some sort of cash crunch?
Thanks once again. Sunteck Group is well prepared to support this bill. We at Sunteck strongly believe that the bill will furthermore bring furthermore discipline, transparency and accountability into the system. Since we already practice a good governance with professional management, utmost emphasis on safety, quality and timely completion, supported by a strong cash flow, we are sure Sunteck will benefit from the bill both on short-term and long-term basis.
Okay, from a consumer point of view, do you believe that this real estate bill will perhaps increase the real estate prices? The key concern being that now, since, as my colleague was trying to get at, 70% of the amount will have to put in an escrow amount. There could be some mismatch in cash flows. And, so will you pass on those costs? Will the cost of owning a house go up even further?
I don't think the price will go up because of this. This will only bring a greater discipline, and it will give a greater consumer protection. Will give to the customers. It will from a developer's point of view, the funds will not be diverted into other projects. The success of the company will depend on start and closure of the project in time.
All right, but Mahesh, some of the clauses that we were reading that, builders cannot change the plan without 66% of the buyer's approval, correct, as well as they might face imprisonment or such harsh measures. So do you think in any way is this of any sort of, is it favoring the consumers much more than it's favoring the companies? Do you think it's very harsh on the companies?
At this stage, I cannot comment on that. What I can say is that the provisions like setting up the RERA will make real estate sector more institutionalized and will benefit the organized players, thus bringing in more transparency and maturity into the industry. On a long term, it only benefits both the consumer as well as the real estate companies. See, if you look at from another point of view, is basically if you bring a greater discipline, a lot of money will also flow into there's a lot of confidence comes into the market, a lot of money comes into that, and a very organized company will get benefited on a long-term basis.
Mahesh, while that point is taken that this bill aims to introduce a lot of discipline into the sector, but as things currently stand, real estate developers do use the money from a particular project and divert it to another project just purely for the point of view of completion. So now, these clauses which have been introduced in the bill are going to hit some developers very hard, especially at a time when most of the sector is sitting on pretty high debt. There is going to be a mismatch or lack of flexibility in cash flow management.
Definitely. For a company who has basically not have a financial discipline over there, it will definitely affect. Particularly for Sunteck, we have a greater discipline and a lot of high level of accountability is there. We do not foresee this, as well as we have a very strong balance sheet, very healthy cash flow is there. We do not foresee it. Only helps us in improving better, and we can bring a lot of more transparency to the customers.
No impact whatsoever on the developers or consumers in terms of, for developers, impact on margin, and for consumers an increase in pricing, according to you?
Basically, I think the customers, the consumer will get benefited more than the developers. Developers will have to basically perform better and better, and it only brings the brand value of the company. It enhances, on a long term, it helps us in growth of the company. For customers, yes, they know what they get, what they pay, what they get. So for the customer, is always this will basically help them more than developers.
Right, Mahesh. But before we let you go, you spoke about companies and their balance sheet strength. So just give us an update on what's the debt on your balance sheet. At the same time, could you also give us the sense of what inventory are you currently sitting on?
See, we have, I can't give you the numbers right now, but what I can very comfortably say is that we have substantially very low level of debt, and we have a we don't have a very high inventory at this stage, but we have a lot of projects on pipeline, which very soon in the market we will be launching. And I can say that out very strongly that Sunteck on a long term has lot to offer to the market, and we are very sure that this bill will help us a lot.
All right, thanks a lot. We'll leave it at that, and thank you for joining us and giving us all those details. At this point, we'll slip into a short break, but coming up on the other side, we'll get talking to the management of Mukta Arts. Remember the